Let's start the show because you obviously came here for a reason, and we are here for a reason today.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone. It's freaking awesome. Now, I'm going to show you what People showed because I don't want to get accused of the British tabloids or a place that isn't nice to Harry and Meghan, but we all remember little Meredith Maines. Meredith Maines came on as their 11th publicist, and if you don't remember, Meredith was the one that, in our opinion, staged photos with King Charles's comms team to get photos taken to make it kind of look like there's steps towards reconciliation.
Peace talks.
Now, Meredith is supposed to be like at the top of the game. You know, she's supposed to be like one of the best. And she's the one that takes credit for doing the Gwyneth Paltrow thing with Meghan. She set that up.
Ooh.
That was her. So do I think Meredith is the one that did this? Yes, because backwards there, take a picture of someone they don't know. Really? How'd they get that picture of her?
Well, we all know that Backrid and Meghan do go hand in hand.
They do, yeah, and also Meredith. I think personally Meredith wanted to get these shots because Harry and Meghan are so desperate for money, and now this whole Archewell debacle that they need to go back to the royal family to have relevance and to, at this point, make money. There's another shot. There's King Charles's comms guy completely confused.
Just going, what?
Yeah. And so like when I say his comms guy, this is actually the Buckingham Palace. It wasn't like they got that close to his personal people.
Yes.
They did not. She was not able to penetrate.
You know what else is so obvious? Meredith, is it Meredith?
Yes.
Meredith is not looking at the camera because she knows it's there.
Yes.
He doesn't know it's there because if you know a camera's there, you're not going to look directly at it.
Nope.
It doesn't work like that.
Unless you're Meghan.
Yeah. Well, that's a completely different narcissism.
There she is getting into the car. Okay. So the last time we saw Meredith, and actually the only time I've ever actually seen her next to Meghan, it was really hard to find these pictures. The lovingly way she's looking at Meghan. I mean,
you are my God.
And there they are walking out of the event. So this
Where's
is
Courtney?
The last. She's done now. Meghan's like, look, I plugged your book.
What else do you want?
and thankfully, you told everyone I went to Northwestern with you. Wink, wink. In my opinion.
Now
my opinion.
Get on a plane and go back to Australia.
Yeah, wherever the hell you came from.
In coach. So it's not the shock of the century. Yes, Nancy and I we find it hilarious and we're celebrating a little bit because it's fun. It's a nice little pop culture moment, but to go through 11 in 5 years is almost giving us the vindication of going, were those bullying claims true? They might be.
Yeah. Meghan and Harry's chief communications officer, Meredith Maines, has stepped down after roughly 10 months. 10 whole months in her role. People can confirm, I will remain on through the new year to help with the transition. Well, that's big of her. Maines was appointed the Duke and Harry and Meghan's first chief communications officer in late February, with the couple announcing her hire on February 28th. She officially began her position in March and oversaw communications across the couple's nonprofit, business ventures, and broader public profile. Meghan and Harry have had the worst 10 months of their life. They need to blame someone at this point. Obviously, Meredith is the fall guy. I mean, what are you going to do? If Meghan is in charge of not only Archewell, but their business ventures and basically their public profile, who are you going to fire? You're not going to fire Meghan. Spokesperson for Harry and Meghan confirmed the change in a statement to People. Meredith Maines and Method Communications have concluded their work for Harry and Meghan.
What does that mean?
Exactly. Well, we're going to get it. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. I always come with research and receipts. Don't worry, you guys. It's not just this. Harry and Meghan are grateful for their contributions and wish them well. Sounds like, when celebrities divorce.
Yeah.
We wish them well and ask for privacy at this time.
At the beginning, it's all copacetic, but then it turns into like a huge bomb.
Maines also shared a statement. After a year of inspiring work with Harry and Meghan, could you imagine saying that's inspiring? So Meredith was in charge of everything when it came to them, including Archewell. I will be pursuing a new opportunity in 2026, freedom. I have the utmost gratitude and respect for the couple and the team. and the good they are doing in the world. Now, mostly when people put this stuff out, especially with divorces too, it means that that person signed a big fat NDA. So if this were to happen, those were already written in the NDA. So before Meredith was even signed on the dotted line 10 months ago, in her NDA, allegedly, it probably stated that when or if you are to depart, this is what you're going to say, B. Listen, B. Maine's departure comes amid continued turnover with Harry and Meghan's communications team, maybe because they don't communicate. She is one of several publicists to exit the couple's orbit since they stepped back as working royals. What does that tell you? Karma is a mofo. A year ago, Global Press Secretary Ashley Hansen, you guys remember Ashley? She was pushing Meghan off the step and repeat.
She was the hook.
Yeah.
Get the hook.
And then Meghan didn't want to leave. Oh, God. I love Ashley. I miss Ashley.
She kept looking at her like,
I got this. I got this. Poor
Like,
Ashley.
what?
Earlier this summer, 3 communication staffers, including UK-based Charlie Gibson and California-based Kylie Boulia, also departed. Emily Robinson, who previously worked at Netflix and was appointed director of communications, left the role in October after just 4 months. Maines worked in conjunction with Method Communications, the outside firm retained to support Harry and Meghan. So remember, we did a whole episode on this, but I'll just refresh people that don't remember. We said at the time when this happened, the fact that Meghan and Harry are getting an outside agency and they no longer can employ personal staff is not a good sign. It means that they're outsourcing to an agency that also works with other people. And that means you don't have a lot of money in industry terms. And that's a fact. I don't have to say allegedly on that. Largely handled the Duchess's public relations work. Well, there you go. I'd fire Meredith too. I mean, she's done a crappy job with Meghan. This is what I asked myself after Meghan wrote 2025 in the sand. How can Meghan make herself look any dumber? And then she did it. This is UK and Europe Director of Communication, who remains in his role, has primarily overseen Prince Harry's communication. So that guy sucks too. At the time of her appointment, Maines said she was honored to partner with the couple and excited to help tell their story as entrepreneurs, builders, and philanthropists while overseeing all communications for the couple and their ventures. Man, Meredith, they are going to throw you under the bus for this one, that's for sure. And especially that this is coming from Harry and Meghan, they are definitely trying to say, look, this was all Meredith's doing. She was in charge of it all.
Write a book, Meredith.
Yeah, right. Before joining the Sussexes, Maines worked at Google, led communications at Hulu, and served as a talent manager for American Idol. A source familiar with the couple's communications approach tells people that there was some initial industry curiosity around the appointment. There were a few eyebrows raised when Method and Meredith were retained. Really? Because you guys seemed super excited about it. Given their heavy background in tech, consumer PR, and venture capital, the source says, noting that the experience differed from the communication efforts typically associated with Harry and Meghan's work. Another industry source tells people, she's deeply strategic and handled everything from the Netflix project to their philanthropic. See, they keep pushing this. They want us to know that Meghan and Harry had nothing to do with this. Mm-hmm. Coming from one of the top venture capital firms and juggling multiple industries and high-stakes projects, that kind of experience is a plus. She's beloved throughout the industry. She's never complained and never has a bad thing to say. And that's because she signs NDAs wherever she goes. That's duh. And genuinely enjoyed her time working with Harry and Meghan.
The land of duh.
Yeah. It is believed that an agency has been lined up to replace Method Communications. So
okay, so they're getting rid of the agency now. It seems
they did. They got rid of
no. I'm just saying now,
and now they have to find a new one.
But that's what I'm saying. Now we're getting on to how many agencies have they gone
it's
through.
No longer people at this point.
I want numbers.
Yeah. However, the couple is not expected to recruit another chief communications officer. Hold up.
Wait a second.
Time out.
Hold on. Wait a second.
Wait a second.
Nancy's up for the role.
I am. But what I'm saying is, hold up. You guys are turning into Archwell Philanthropies, which you said yourself on that website. The reason you're doing that, which we know it's not the reason, allegedly, but the reason you're doing that is so you can go global and make it bigger. But now you're going to outsource everything to an agency and not one person anymore? Really? That's not how it works, guys. That's not how it works. I mean, this is such a fail. Like, seriously? I mean, it makes me so happy. It really does. It does. I mean, I'm so happy when things work out. I really do. I mean, guys, I'm telling you, there's no coming back from this. However, the couple is not expected to recruit another chief communications officer. Instead, McGuire will take on an expanded role as lead communications director. So the guy that they have over doing it for Harry is now going to have to do it for everybody. Now this guy, oh God, you know what? I don't pray, but I'm going to pray for this guy. Let's get to the Sussex Squad denial. So they, you know, the problem with Sussex Squad is they don't have the time to like go through TikTok pages like I do. Now I can only find a couple now, but you guys, Sussex Squad has made so many videos embarrassing themselves every time Harry and Meghan get a shakeup, a Sussex Squad shakeup, or now this Archwell Philanthropy shakeup, and they're so confused at this point. They don't even like know what to do. And that's when I pounce. I'm about to fact check her in real time, and it's going to get weird.
So I want to have a talk about Archwell Philanthropies, because we had an amazing live on this a few days ago, us squaddies. And a lot of that live was to debunk a lot of rumors, as well as some truth about the impact that Harry and Meghan have made on millions of people's lives. Not only that, but did you guys know that they actually donated more money, or I'm sorry, gave away more grants than the Royal Foundation in 2024? True story. Clock it.
Okay, so what did she just say?
Clock it.
No, she said that Archwell Foundation gave away more money in grants in 2024. Let's fact check her. Archwell reported a decline in donations and grants in 2024. Estimates from tax filings and media reports indicate the foundation distributed around $1.25 million to $1.3 million in grants during 2024. Some reports mentioned $940,000 to $1.25 million given out as grants based on different sources. Let's go to the Royal Foundation. According to the Royal Foundation's financial information for 2024, and this is all part of Charity Register. This is not like the Sun or the Times or People or anything like that. This is actual charity watchdog groups. The foundation raised £12.2 million and donated the majority, 11.9 million pounds to charitable causes and grants. So they took in 12.2 and they gave away 11.9. Erica, in conclusion, no, the Archwell Foundation did not give away more money than the Royal Foundation in 2024. The Royal Foundation gave more. Archwell 2024 giving was much smaller. So in 2024, the Royal Foundation's giving far exceeded Archwell's charitable distributions. That's insane.
Just know that they actually donated more money, or I'm sorry, gave away more grants than the Royal Foundation in 2024. True story. Clock it.
Clock it. So she goes on and on. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but she goes on and on about how she thinks Harry and Meghan should start an Archwell Foundation Instagram page, because the website is really confusing.
Archwell Philanthropies needs a social media presence, full stop. So, as Sussex Squad members, we have been the bullhorns. But can I be honest with you? We should be the whistles. Harry and Meghan need to get ahead of their own narrative. This is their legacy we're talking about. Philanthropies is legacy.
She thinks that Harry and Meghan's Archwell Philanthropies is going to be their legacy. She doesn't realize that it's a grift. I mean, I think she does at this point realize it's a grift, but she's not wanting to say it. Like, she doesn't realize they're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart.
If the legacy is Archie and Lily, and if they have children, all of this is going to transcend generations to come. You've got to be on top of it. And I know Prince Harry would rather gouge his eyes out than to join social media. But, sir, get with the times. But look at your wife as a benchmark, sir. She is on social media and she is using it in the most healthy way possible.
Yeah, she's putting the back of her kids' heads.
Comment sections off, but Archwell Foundation also had another problem. And this is something squatties pointed out.
In their meeting.
It was too cumbersome to navigate through.
See, that's what I'm saying. Now she's about to say that it was too hard to figure out.
Because there's all these hyperlinks to different entities, productions, foundation, the Office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan. Nobody has time for that. Also, the placement of where these are atrocious.
I agree. The website is confusing, but the problem is what the Sussex squad doesn't understand is Meghan and Harry, or Meghan and the powers that be at Archwell, want it confusing. So then I wanted to bring up something that happened a while ago. Like I said, I'm going to go through all this because it tickles me. Some of this, you might not like it. Stephanie's not very keen on it, but for some reason, I like seeing people talk about things like they know what they're talking about and then end up being completely wrong. Now that might make me a terrible person.
Schadenfreude.
Is that Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude.
I am a huge fan of Schadenfreude. Okay.
That's not a good thing.
I don't care. I'll admit it at least. Okay.
Okay, we're going to change it to Schadenfreude instead of 12th Publicist.
Another TikToker who I love, and it's no secret, is Money Making Meredith. Here is Meredith when Meredith Maines first gets hired and how great this is. And this is such a good move for Harry and Meghan. She's going to tell us why, because she's really smart at media literacy. And this is what she does for a living, guys, or what she hopes she could do for a living.
Hire their PR people. Things are a mess. All of those stories coming out, and most of it comes from an exclusive from The Sun. We do know that obviously...
See, she likes to only say that this stuff is coming from the British tabloids.
Of course.
Yeah.
And she did a horrible accent just now. I mean, what's wrong with her? It's so rude.
New chief of comms was brought on a couple of months ago. So
it was 8 months ago. But as you can see, this is in regards to the Duke and Duchess have hired Meredith Maines as their first chief communications officer. And look at the flex this is for Money Making Meredith.
So that can cause, some restructuring. It's actually the chief of comms that takes full credit, responsibility for this decision to go in a different direction and hire an agency, one company, easier, that can handle multiple time zones, which makes it easier to deal with international stakeholders and have a unified response because you're not dealing with two different entities, which makes sense. As someone who used to work in digital marketing, worked for a mid-sized agency, I've worked for a boutique agency, and there's definitely...
How come you're not working for any of those agencies anymore? How come you're like struggling to grift on TikTok?
Positives and drawbacks depending on, what a client is looking for and what they're going for. But it's interesting to watch papers speculate on the reason for why they've decided to do this, and the assumption that it's because of, disaster after disaster. They point to the Vanity Fair piece as one of the disasters that occurred. If you read the Vanity Fair piece, I still contend there are things in there that are actually like, no, there's just some issues with the podcasting space that Meghan and Harry didn't have control over. It's not a straight hit piece. Point to the As Ever.
Steph, the Vanity Fair piece was not a straight hit piece.
Oh, of course not.
Trademark, name thing, which I think if nothing else, I think Meghan's team did a really good job reframing that. It does have the next...
Meghan did a really good job reframing As Ever from American Riviera Orchard.
Yeah.
And you know what? She's worked for a boutique.
She knows.
And a regular agency.
She definitely knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, and she took journalism in college.
Mm-hmm.
Season of With Love Meghan coming out, because we know that there is going to be another drop of some of the favorite products, the restock from As Ever. And we also know there might be a few new products, and that there's definitely going to be new products in 2026. The idea that it's this, chaos for the Sussexes. The Sussexes are failing. They haven't found their footing, failing to thrive narrative that the British media plays up, when what it sounds like to me is a simple situation of they were a smaller team getting ready to launch into these initiatives. The time it made sense to have someone that was LA based in communications for PR and all of that, and it made sense to have someone that was in the UK. As they got bigger, they brought in a new comms chief who, after a few months, looked at her department and said, we got to restructure things a little bit. Now we are larger, we have more things going on. We want to bring this all under one team, one agency that can offer us more simply because of their size, their capability. And that's just not that weird.
I know, I had to say
we
it.
had to end on weird.
Okay, so
it's not that weird.
Yeah, would you believe it that I went over to Meredith's TikTok to see if she's going to retract anything she said, or maybe say, oopsies. She didn't. You know what she brought up? She brought up Beatrice and Eugenie doing the Christmas Sandringham walk. She's not going to address it. And Matta hasn't addressed it either. Even though
cowards.
I don't understand this. If I said something wrong, if I was giving out false information, I would go, guys, I was wrong on that.
Do you guys know how many times I've said something wrong, and on live on the air, Nancy has said, Stephanie, you need to retract that.
I have screamed.
She's called me stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, we do not get things wrong. And if we do, Nancy points them out like a Schadenfreude.
Okay, guys. So there's one person that was brave enough, and I got to give her credit, to actually come out. A squatty came out, and she actually did address this. And I got to give her credit for doing it, because nobody else has the chutzpah to come out and address this Meredith Maines thing and actually say anything about it. So I got to give her credit, even though right after she says this, I'm going to fact check the crap out of her and show you guys how none of it's true.
Royal reporters, I know nothing better than to create false narratives about Meghan and Harry, claim that Meghan and Harry lost another senior member of staff. And then he concludes by asking why. Well, Meghan and Harry and the senior reporter Meredith Maines have said why. Not like they had to, but to shut up the liars and to shut down their false narrative, they put out a statement. That's why. Since real reporters want to know why, that's why. Her work contract was for a year, and it's done. Simple. And
where does it say that? Where Meredith's contract was only for a year? Her work contract.
Well, I know she gave notice in November.
But I'm just curious to say, what work contract?
Yeah.
Short. Nothing nefarious, nothing spectacular, nothing newsworthy about it. Worker finishes her work and moves on.
Okay, guys. Here is for the Sussex squad and for you guys, because we're going to, if you guys get comments or whatever, these are actual facts, and we're just going to lay it out there why this is not a good thing. This is a non-biased approach at arguing with the Sussex squad if they come at you. I got to say,
will they understand this?
No, but it is factual. I like giving the facts here. So absolutely not. This is not a normal thing to do, okay? Let's take away the fact that this is the 11th time they have gone through a communications director. Let's put a pin in that. No, it is not normal for somebody to only work for 10 months, especially a job with that much responsibility, okay?
Yeah, you know where all the skeletons are buried.
In elite communication circles, senior comms pros do not job hop every 6 to 10 months. Clock it. Especially don't leave without another role lined up unless something is off. When turnover repeats at the top, and Meredith was the tippity top, she was the top. It's almost never about fit. It's about working conditions. In communications industry, this pattern usually means message control issues. Duh. Moving goalposts, strategy changes weekly based on mood. Headline. That makes sense. Meghan. Reputation at risk. Professionals won't attach their names to narratives they can't defend. Okay, this is important. This is where it gets important. What is coming down the pike that this woman, Meredith Maines, and her company, Method Communication, wants nothing to do with Harry and Meghan? What is happening that's going to be so bad soon? What could it be, you guys? Say it in the comments, because I can't imagine it being a separation, or maybe she does know that our theory has always been Meghan's going to throw Harry under the bus and say he's a alky and a drug.
Well, that's what I was thinking just now. What if it is a separation issue? You have to remember Meghan with the NDA is relying on these people to side with her in court. And that's probably a moral issue with these people now, where it's like, I've worked with this chick for 10 months, man. And she's a bully. She treats her husband like garbage.
And it could be also the taxes.
But I'm just saying, it could be a moral issue inside your head. There's some people that can lie. There are liars, politicians. There's people that lie. But some people might have this moral compass, and 11 of them clearly did, and didn't want to take up for all her bad behavior.
Yeah.
That could be it.
Internal contradiction. Wanted both privacy and nonstop press. Talented communicators don't leave prestige roles lightly. They leave when they can't do their jobs. Well, that doesn't surprise me, because can you imagine Meghan letting anyone do their job? Yeah. Consolidation excuse decoded. When outlets say communications will be consolidated, translation is usually one of three things. We can't keep senior staff. Well, I don't think they can afford anybody anymore. We want tighter personal control over messaging. We're downsizing without admitting it. It's not a growth signal. It's a containment move. Didn't Meredith say it was growth?
Meredith knows, but she worked for a boutique agency.
She said it's growth.
Sign of there being trouble. That's actually a sign of growth.
Now, this is when it gets interesting, and this is what I was telling you guys about the NDAs. This is what they put in their exit statements, concluded their work, grateful for their contributions, wish them well. We always wish them well, pursuing a new opportunity, utmost gratitude and respect. But this is what they mean. There is an internal conflict. Expectations were aligned. The role didn't work out. Lawyers are involved. That means NDA. Reputations need protecting. The role ended in under a year. The function was collapsed, not replaced. Communications was consolidated, not expanded. Not growth. Okay. Professionals make polite exits because burning bridges kills future work. Now, Meredith doesn't want to be known as somebody who's going to just leave and not take on a hard job. And of course, Harry and Meghan need to look like they're great bosses. NDAs exist. Of course they exist. The industry is small. References matter. Public mess helps no one. Even people who cannot stand each other release statements like this. So yes, even in divorce situations, even when people are leaving a job, a statement is always coming out saying that they wish them well and this is normal. No, something bad did happen for Meredith Maines to leave after 10 months. That is not normal freaking behavior. Clock it. Harry and Meghan with this Archwell philanthropies, they purposely are trying to confuse their few base that they have left into not thinking there's any problems. And that's why listen.
He says no one has broken their NDA yet. Year of yet. Let's go. Let's write some books here, people.
We really got it. My favorite word. I love it.
The year of yet.